So again, thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice, for being there to call out to your mom. How heartbreaking was that?
Oh my goodness, make the pandering stop. This garbage, this trash, it just never ends. Not only with just Democrats, all politicians, this is what they do. They pander, they utilize, they manipulate, they take advantage of very, very popular, very, very controversial situations in order to rack in more money and rack in more votes. And I mean, you know you're in trouble when even Black Lives Matter comes out and rejects you and disowns you. Nancy Pelosi, I mean, I don't even have to explain this, but Nancy Pelosi is a career politician who's an absolute moron that gets away with not only pandering, but manipulating the minds of millions of people. But I mean, now we got Black Lives Matter coming out and disowning Nancy Pelosi. These politicians are just absolutely ridiculous. They're out of control. They're taking advantage of all of us. They're utilizing us. They're using us. They're manipulating us. Not you, DH Alliance. You guys can see through this garbage. But you know the woke Wookiees on the left that trickle in on this live stream. I just want to let you guys know, man, like, stop thinking that politicians actually care about you and actually care about the issues that you care about. This stuff is just getting out of control. It's ridiculous. I think we all know by now that Nancy Pelosi is a fake and a fraud and can care less about anybody but her damn self. Welcome to Drew Hernandez Live. My name is Drew Hernandez, hopefully one of your favorite podcast hosts here on YouTube. If you guys can do me a favor, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe below to the channel immediately. But don't just do that. Make sure to hit that bell notification. But when you do that as well, hit and toggle on the all selection, because if you don't, YouTube leaves you on a setting that only gives you occasional notifications whenever I post anything on this channel. So do that right now. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, toggle on the all selection so you can get all notifications to anything I do on this channel. But also please share this video. YouTube clearly YouTube will deboost us. YouTube will shadow ban us. Obviously, we have more than 52,000 subscribers on this channel, but can barely get 3,000 views. So we need you guys to share this stuff far and wide wherever you could post a link. whether it's on your own YouTube channel, whether it's on your Facebook, your Gab, your Parler, wherever a link can be posted, even right now on Twitter, just put it up there, get it out there. DH Alliance, you guys are the ones that help us break these bans and break these deboosting algorithms on this channel. But also, if you guys can do me a huge favor and smash and destroy that like button immediately, that really helps us as well. But also, since we're extremely deboosted, we are supported by the people, we the people, you the people. I am independent on this channel, so if you guys would like to support me, you guys can donate directly to my website. The link is in the description below on my Venmo, my PayPal, or my Cash App. Or, guys, we do super chats at the end of every single show. If you're new to the channel and you've never watched this show, we interact with each other. That's another way you can support me directly. Drop a super chat, whether it's at the beginning of the show, the middle of the show, at the end of the show. If I say something crazy and controversial that you love, drop a super chat. That supports me as well. And like I said, please share this video far and wide wherever you can. It means a lot to me. And shout out to the DH Alliance. Also, if you guys would like to support me monthly, you guys can do that for as low as $5 a month in the memberships section on this channel. Shout out to every single one of you, the DH Alliance, with all of your special exclusive badges in the comment section below. Want to thank you guys for supporting me monthly. I just want to thank any of you guys that support me. And also, if you guys do donate to my website on PayPal or Venmo or Cash App, you guys can write a little message. You could kind of like do that as like a super chat as well. I'll read it live on live on air as well. So here we go. Now, this is just embarrassing, okay? I mean, we all know who Black Lives Matter is. I've been saying this for a very long time now. I say it on Fox News. I say it on OAN. I say it on wherever I'm at. Doesn't matter where I'm at. I'm not afraid to speak the truth. We know who Black Lives Matter is. They are a neo-communist organization that wants to see the destabilization and the fall of the United States of America. But we also know Nancy Pelosi is a career politician as well that sees how successful Black Lives Matter has become through their grift. They utilize that because she's a career Democrat politician that has for decades been taking advantage of the weakness of the Black community, those that don't think for themselves, that actually believe the woke-tarded rhetoric that comes from Democrats that Blacks are stupid, they can't think for themselves. This is how Democrats view Black people. That they're too poor, they're too weak, they're too down in a ditch to do anything for themselves. That's how Democrats view Blacks. That's the rhetoric that we get. I'm going to prove it to you tonight if you don't believe me. Joe Biden just a few days ago is saying that Blacks and Browns are afraid to sleep at night because they think cops are going to come and kill them. I got something to say about that as well. Democrats have been using this rhetoric for decades. That's nothing new. But why do I say that? I say that because I think it's interesting that Black Lives Matter is now coming out and rejecting and disowning Nancy Pelosi. And when you have Black Lives Matter coming out and kicking you to the curb, you know you really messed up. You know that you really have some serious problems. But the reason why this is happening is because they are so used to this. Democrats are so used to Black people not seeing through the pandering and not seeing through the manipulation. A lot of Black people that are not seriously and honestly waking up to these things, they view politicians like this and they just believe their lies because they think, or they've been told from a young age, that the Democrats are the party for the minorities or the brown or the Black people, and the Republicans are the white people that are rich and that don't want Browns or Blacks to be successful. That's a lot of people are literally raised upon that, especially if you've grown up in a Black home or you've grown up in a Hispanic or a Latino home. That's normal, you know? We've been programmed to believe that because these Democrats, they've been preaching to our communities that we are weak, that we are too poor, that we are too intellectual or not educated enough. That's why Democrats come out and say, oh, part of the reason why voter ID is racist is because Blacks and Browns they don't have the time or the intellectual ability to figure it out on their own, or they're too poor. Democrats set that narrative, and we sit here, I'm speaking to minorities, and we believe it. And so by default, you have a lot of minorities that sit there and they say, wow, yeah, I am too poor. I am too uneducated. I need the state to take care of me. That's by design, my friend. They do that on purpose because governments that are not regulated, they want control, whether left or whether right. They want populations living in poverty. They want populations living in absolute desperate measures or desperate conditions in order for them to control them. This happens with Democrats. This happens with rhino Republicans, establishment, deep state Republicans as well. This is how it's been for centuries. So I say that to say this. Here's the video where I think it's interesting that Black Lives Matter is coming out and rebuking and disowning Nancy Pelosi, which I think is a good thing to do. I still don't think Black Lives Matter is anything beneficial at this point, but I think it's interesting because it further shows how ridiculously stupid these politicians think that you are. So let's take a look at this clip.
So again, thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice, for being there to call out to your mom. How heartbreaking was that? Call out for your mom. I can't breathe. But because of you and because of thousands, millions of people around the world who came out for justice, your name will always be synonymous with justice. And now we have to make sure justice prevails in the sentencing. But that's its own procedure.
She is thanking George Floyd for sacrificing her life, okay? Well, I have something to say about this, but before I say it, I want to show you the reaction that Black Lives Matter had on Twitter, their verified account. This is what they had to say to Nancy Pelosi on Twitter a couple days ago. And Black Lives Matter came out and said, "This is so damn disrespectful. George Floyd didn't choose to die, Speaker Pelosi." They directly tagged her on Twitter. "He was murdered by a killer cop operating through white supremacy." Now, obviously, I disagree with that. "There isn't justice here." And they retweeted the video that retweeted the original video from PBS NewsHour. Now, what's interesting about this is they are calling her out, but at the same time, they peddle the narrative. Now, the thing that I want to say about this is this. What I think is nuanced about this is, listen, we know that Nancy Pelosi is an idiot. We know that she's stupid, but she's not in the sense that she's not naive. Nancy Pelosi is a career politician that has built a large amount of wealth, being in politics for far too long. So when I say that, you can't underestimate what these people do. And the reason why I say that is Nancy Pelosi, she is very intelligent when it comes to crooked politics, pandering, manipulating as a United States elected or someone that is holding office, an official in the United States of America. Now, stay with me, okay? What I'm saying is this. Nancy Pelosi, she's completely serious here, right? She's not lying. Yeah, she's pandering. But I think Nancy Pelosi is being 100% transparent in this video. Why? Drew, why do you say that? Why? What the hell? What do you mean Nancy Pelosi is very intelligent and being a crooked politician and she knows what she's doing? Dude, Nancy Pelosi is not lying when she says, "Thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life," because she knows that the death of George Floyd has manipulated the minds of millions of black people in the United States that don't think for themselves. She knows that the death of George Floyd has emotionally wooed the masses of the black community in the United States of America. She knows that the death of George Floyd has secured possibly generations of black voters for the Democrat Party, for them to vote for their party. She knows that the death of George Floyd has accomplished that very fact, because that's what Democrats do. That's what these career politicians, They do. They take advantage of these situations. They leverage these controversial situations. They play on your emotions. They play on the things that you care about. That's why she panders and she turns around and says, crying out for his mother. Isn't that tragic? Crying out for the mother. Isn't that just tragic? She puts her hand on her chest as if she actually gives a damn about George Floyd. You serious? You think Nancy actually cares? She cares about votes. Nancy Pelosi is not lying when she says, thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life, because she knows that has secured millions of votes for decades for the Democrat Party, because what she's going to do from here on out is smear anyone else that doesn't affiliate with the Democrat Party as not caring for black people, not caring for George Floyd, not caring about police brutality in the United States of America, not caring about white supremacy, not caring about the issues that the black community cares about. Oh, because Nancy cares about them. Nancy stands up there and says, thank you, George Floyd. The reason why she says that is because she is thankful that the black community is now going to continue to vote for the Democrat Party and be on the literally electoral plantation for decades to come, because they don't wake up, they don't see through this. I mean, maybe Black Lives Matter saw this, but they're going to continue to vote for this anyways. You guys remember what happened in 2020 when we saw the footage out of Michigan, when we saw the footage out of Pennsylvania, all the swing states, the controversial swing states in the 2020 election? People wearing BLM face masks, BLM t-shirts. A lot of people that support Black Lives Matter, they continue to vote for Democrats thinking that things will freaking change. And they don't change. And I'm going to further explain that and expose that tonight. But I think it's interesting that Nancy ain't lying. She's totally thankful, because hordes, millions in the black community are going to continue to vote for Democrats, because the Democrats have positioned themselves into a place where we're the ones that care about your issues. We're the ones that care about George Floyd, not those racist white supremacists over there that call themselves Republicans. That's exactly what she's thankful for. And why do I say that? Why can I sit here and say that with absolute confidence that that's what the case is? Because that's what they've been doing for decades. And the black community, especially on the left, just will not wake up. They claim to be woke, but they're asleep, still being manipulated by career politicians like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, freaking Barack Obama himself, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. These people don't give a damn about the things that you give a damn about. Because if they did, things would have changed by now, don't you think? Ain't nothing changed yet. Because they need you pissed off, they need you emotional, because they need something to run on every single election cycle, whether it's locally or federally on the state level. It doesn't matter. They need you pissed off, they need you emotional, they need some kind of issue out there to run on. They don't want to fix your solution. They don't want to fix your issues, because then they won't have anything to run on. And they keep doing this to the black community. They keep doing this to the Hispanic community. They keep doing this to minority communities over and over and over and over again, because they know that it works. That is their brand. That is their playbook. They make all these promises to you. They pander to you. They make you think that they actually give a damn about what you give a damn about. Decades go by and ain't nothing changed. We had the first black president in office 2 terms. Ain't nothing changed. Barack Obama changed nothing. Here we are in 2021, where people are still saying that, oh, we're just as racist as we were during and before the civil rights movement. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. These Democrats are doing nothing to change your communities, to better your communities. And the reason why things don't get better is because they need you and they want you desperate and living in a damn hole, so they can continue to get you to keep voting, thinking that things are going to change. Why would they change anything for you when they can just keep you in this position where you've been mentally manipulated to think they're going to help you, when you're just on a damn hamster wheel? For decades, the black community, the Hispanic community, on a damn hamster wheel for decades, with Democrats just putting little food crumbs right in front. Oh, you want this? You want this? Oh yeah, we'll help you. We'll throw you a bone every now and then, but we're not going to totally fix anything because then we won't have anything to run on the next election cycle. That's how they view blacks. That's how they view minorities. That's how they view Hispanics and Latinos. That's it. And the thing is like, I have a heart for these communities. I care about these communities, but at the same time, I don't feel sorry for these communities because they continue to allow this to happen to them every single year, every single decade, and they don't wake the hell up. So I hold you accountable as well. We've been sitting here trying to tell you this over and over and over again, but people don't want to wake up. They don't want to listen. If you guys agree with what I'm saying tonight and you think there's truth to what I am saying, drop a 1 in the comment section below and smash that like button to help the algorithm promote this video because people need to hear this stuff. This is the reality that we currently live in, and people don't want to accept it because it violates their pride and it violates their sense of reality. When the hell are you going to wake up to the reality that these career politicians, and it's Republicans too, these rhino establishment Republicans, you guys know where I stand on this. They do the same thing. They don't give a damn. They don't want to better your life. Anytime a populist rolls through, someone that actually wants to shake Washington up and make things better and improve the life of Americans, especially the economy, they get slandered. They get excommunicated. They get rejected. These career politicians, I don't believe any of them. I'll believe you when you start actually doing things that better the lives of the American people, whether you're white, whether you're black, whether you're brown. None of that means anything. Color means nothing. I care about your actions. I care about your character. I care about what you are doing. I care about what you are claiming you are going to do, and then following up through actions, executing your plans for the embetterment of the American people. When are people going to wake the hell up? They're not, because they refuse to, because their pride will not allow them to. Their pride will not allow them to. And it is very, very unfortunate. They will do anything. They will utilize anybody. They will manipulate. They will say anything in order to gain support. At the same time, listen, in the mind of a politician, they need votes. At the same time, they need mass monetary support. And right now, BLM is a freaking cash cow. Okay? BLM is a cash cow. Because the BLM brand is dead black people that have been killed at the hand of a police officer, whether it's justified or not. That is the BLM brand. Truth. BLM is nothing without that. That's their grift. Even Breonna Taylor's mom comes out and says, you guys are freaking frauds. The hell? Breonna Taylor's own mom. Okay, Breonna Taylor is one of the freaking glorified saints of Black Lives Matter, including George Floyd and others as well. What am I saying? What I'm saying is, and I want you guys to understand is, all of these things are financially connected with an agenda at the same time, because there's a lot of activists, left-leaning activists that follow me. They jump in my DMs. They're like, you're so racist. You just don't care about black people. No, dude, I'm saying this because I care about black people. The black community has been hijacked by a communist entity. And the Democrat Party is using black people to push an agenda. That's what they're doing. That's the end game. That's all they want to do. Because right now, they've literally glorified racism. They've made it bigger than what it really is. And they know that people, especially white liberals, are scared to literally say anything that criticizes a black person. So black people, especially on the left, are shielded right now in the mainstream media, in Hollywood, in the music industry, social media, everywhere you look. Doesn't matter. They're shielded. So now the black community, now that they're shielded, they're peddling globalism through them. They're peddling communism through them. They're peddling authoritarianism through this community because they know, oh, if you criticize this, you are a damn racist and a white supremacist. How dare you speak out against a black person? That's how it works. It's almost genius if you ask me. Perfect play. But what I'm trying to say is, how can you guys not see this? The black community right now, how can you not see this? It's all an agenda and it's by design, and they're using you on this chess game we call life, you're a pawn. You're not even a knight. Not anywhere close. You ain't no queen. You ain't no king on this game board. You're a pawn. And I know that's offensive, man, but it's the truth. That's why I don't allow myself to fall into a place, and I'm going to speak on that in just a moment, where politicians, whether left or right, speak on my behalf. I speak for me, okay? I speak for myself. Ain't no commentator, nobody, no influencer, nobody speaks for me. I speak for myself, okay? No politician, no influencer. I don't give a damn who you are, whether your platform is bigger than mine or not. I don't care. I speak for me. And if you don't have that mindset, someone else is going to speak for you. Especially these damn politicians that try and monopolize minority communities. They've done it to the black community. They own them. Democrats started slavery. They've transitioned it. They've modernized it. And right now they live on the plantation of constantly voting over and over and over and over again while they lie to them and peddle to them with false promises of change. You're a slave. You'll continue to be a slave because you keep voting for your masters that keep promising you things that are never going to come. Oh, man, this is too offensive right now, right? People are, how dare you say that? It's not just blacks. It's Hispanics as well, Latinos, and even white people. Every time I go to a Black Lives Matter freaking rally, the ratio is just outnumbered. There's more white people than there are black people. All these virtue signaling white liberals. Wake the hell up too. I'm speaking to all of you. Useful idiots. That's all you are. Being used for political gain and purposes to peddle an agenda. That's what you are. I can't talk like this right now, especially on YouTube. They don't like me. Too much truth. All I'm trying to do is wake people up. I'm sorry if I offend you. I just want you to be on the right side. I want you to be on the side of truth, enlightenment. I want you to have these nuanced takes to give you something to think about. I mean, don't you think it's kind of weird, man, that nothing ever changes? Nothing? Nothing is ever getting done? Every single freaking election cycle, we get made all these promises just shoved down our throat and nothing changes. Wonder why? You think that's by design? Oh, of course it is. It's 100% by design. If you don't believe me, I'm going to play this ridiculous freaking pandering clip of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden shortly after the verdict was released of Derek Chauvin being charged on all counts, all 3 counts, first, second-degree murder, and manslaughter. This is what they had to say, and I have a lot to say about this. Then I'm going to play you the video, and I want you guys to hear this for yourself. So let's take a look.
We are all a part of George Floyd's legacy, and our job now is to honor it and to honor him.
A jury in Minnesota found former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin guilty on all counts in the murder of George Floyd last May. It was a murder in the full light of day, and it ripped the blinders off for the whole world to see. The systemic racism the Vice President just referred to. The systemic racism is a stain on our nation's soul. The knee on the neck of justice for Black Americans. Profound fear and trauma. The pain, the exhaustion that Black and brown Americans experience every single day. In order to deliver real change and reform, we can and we must do more to reduce the likelihood that tragedies like this will ever happen and occur again. To ensure that Black and brown people, or anyone, so they don't fear the interactions with law enforcement, that they don't have to wake up knowing that they can lose their very life in the course of just living their life. They don't have to worry about whether their sons or daughters will come home after a grocery store run, or just walking down the street, or driving their car, or playing in the park, or just sleeping at home.
Now, number one, okay? Listen, trigger warning, okay? If you're a leftist in here, you're a woke Wookiee in here, I'm going to say some seriously offensive things right now. So I'm giving you a trigger warning. You can leave right now. If you can't handle what I'm about to say, I warned you, I forewarned you, okay? Number one, Kamala Harris does not speak for me. I'm going to use the terminology of the left right now. They're using terms like black people, people of color, brown people, okay? I'm brown, I'm Latino, I'm Hispanic. Number one, Kamala Harris does not speak for me as an American, okay? I am not a part of George Floyd's legacy at all. George Floyd is not a hero. George Floyd is not a saint. George Floyd is not someone that your child should be looking up to, okay? George Floyd was a criminal. He was a drug addict. George Floyd was not a perfect little saint with some kind of legacy that we should all aspire to uphold and be a part of and model our lives based upon. George Floyd abused, threatened a Hispanic woman back in the day. That's everybody knows that. I do not uphold the legacy of George Floyd. Kamala Harris does not speak for me. I am not a part of a legacy that involves drugs, the abuse of drugs, and the abuse of women. That is not a legacy that I am a part of. I told you, I warned you, all woke Wookiees out there, this is some seriously offensive stuff, because I know your glorified saint, George Floyd, right now, is untouchable. Well, I'm sorry. He's just a human being. And he was not a great human being. What I'm saying is this: I refuse to be labeled by these people. You are not going to label me and speak for me, okay, that I somehow am a part of George Floyd's legacy. I have my own things to say. But this is what these career politicians do. They try and speak for you and place you where they believe you should be. I am not a part of George Floyd's legacy. I don't give a damn, okay? I know this is extremely controversial to say, but I speak for myself. And right now, I do not uphold the legacy of George Floyd. Number two, okay? Number two, Biden's pandering is exhausting and it's offensive to me, okay? Biden's pandering is exhausting and it's offensive to me because he specifically says black and brown people are living with so much trauma. They're living in fear. They cannot drive down the street. They cannot go on a grocery run. They cannot even sleep in their beds at night without living in fear of being killed or murdered by police officers. Well, listen, okay, Joe Biden, Mr. White Man, let me speak for myself as a brown man to use your stupid terminology and labels. You do not speak for me. I do not live in fear. As a Latino, as a brown person, I am not living my life in fear. I don't wake up every single day in fear thinking that a police officer is going to hunt me down and kill me. All right? I don't go to sleep at night thinking that my door is going to be broken down by some white supremacist killer cop with the intention to end my life. I don't live in fear. I don't live in trauma. I don't live this way. When I drive down the street, I am a brown person. I am a Latino person that you are trying to label, that you are trying to speak for, that you are literally trying to put me in a box and use your stupid voice as mine. So let me speak for myself. I don't live in fear. I don't live in trauma. That's not how I live. That's what you say. That's what you try to dictate. That's what you try to speak on for my behalf. So as a minority myself, sir, you can shut the hell up and sit down and let me speak for myself because you are not going to label me. You are not going to speak for me. You are not going to put me in a damn box. You are not going to put me in your stupid little file because that's what Democrats do. That's what they do to us as minorities. And as a Latino man, as a POC, I sit here and I reject that and I say, Joe Biden, sir, installed puppet of a president, you can shut the hell up and sit down because you do not speak for me. And if you agree with anything I just said, drop a 1 in the comment section below and smash that like button immediately, especially if you agree and you relate to what I am saying. This is what they do to us. They paint us as victims. They speak on our behalf. They tell us who we are. They don't let me speak for myself. I get censored on this damn app. I get deboosted on this damn app. As a Latino brown man, I lose my voice on YouTube while Joe Biden sits there and speaks for me. He does not speak for me. I speak for me. Drew Hernandez speaks for Drew Hernandez. Joe Biden doesn't speak for me. Kamala Harris doesn't speak for me. Even Donald Trump doesn't speak for me. I speak for me because I am me. This is my life. No one gets to speak on my behalf but me, and obviously the Lord Jesus Christ. But for me right now here on planet Earth, I speak for me. Because listen, this is my warning to you. This is what they do. Joe Biden just labeled blacks and browns even further. Oh, all black people, all brown people, they're living in fear. Oh my God, they can't go to the grocery store. Oh my God, they're such poor little victims. Look at the blacks, look at the brown. They're so weak, they're so useless, they're so defenseless. They need us in order to protect them. That's exactly what they do and what they have done for decades, and they will continue to do if we don't stand up and start speaking out against these morons. They've already hijacked the black community. They're going for the Latino community next. We can't allow this to happen any longer. They will speak for us. They will dictate us. They will control us. That is what the end game is. They want us desperate. They want us in a freaking hole. I'm not weak. I'm not afraid. I'm not living in fear. Listen, as a Latino man, I am 2-8 up, son. The Second Amendment, as an American, that is what I hold to. Let's just say that was even real. Let's just say white supremacist cops were busting down doors and hunting people of color. I couldn't even go to the grocery store. Well, you know what, sir? If that was even true, as an American, I am 2-8 up to protect myself, my wife, and my family. I don't need you. And by the way, you're trying to take that away from me. As a person of color, you're trying to take away my Second Amendment. You're trying to take guns away. You're trying to take all of this stuff away so that I can't protect myself any longer. Oh, I can't talk like this now. I can't. Oh, no. Shut that Latino up. Shut that Hispanic up. He can't speak like this. He's too radical. He's too crazy. Oh, I thought that all voices matter. I thought that, especially brown voices matter. What, now I can't speak my own? I can't speak what I have to say? Oh, because it doesn't fit what you want for me. These pandering freaking white Democrats that sit there and they try and speak on behalf of me. I'm a problem. That's what I am. And the reason why I'm a problem is because of the color of my skin and because of what I believe. And it doesn't fit what they've labeled me to be. This is why I'm so passionate against this. I don't care what Joe Biden has to say. He does not speak for me. Especially as a person of color. This is why I'm trying to wake up other Latinos and wake up other black people, other minorities. Stop letting them label us. We can speak for ourselves. We can protect ourselves. We don't need them. We don't need them labeling us. We don't need them dictating our own lives. That is not how I live my life. I don't live in weak fear on a daily basis. I don't. I can protect myself respectfully, sir, on my own. Can't be talking like this. And if you guys agree with that, drop a 1 in the comment section and destroy that like button. This pandering is exhausting. And I refuse to allow these people to continue to label me and put me in their damn little box so they can continue to control the narrative while I'm sitting here saying, that doesn't represent me. I'm watching the damn TV. I'm like, I'm a freaking brown person. You don't speak for me. The hell? Not at all. I can protect myself. I'm fine. I don't need you. You need to paint me as some kind of weak second-class citizen. That's what they do. Oh, the black and the brown people, they're such weak people. They paint us as second, third class citizens. Shut up, dude. No. I could protect myself. I could live my own life. Thank you, Joe Biden, but no thanks. You could take your pandering and shove it straight up your, you know what I'm about to say. Because I just don't care anymore. These people don't speak for me. It's all about power. They want to control us. That's what they want. And you know what? I'm going to say this as well. Let me speak to the left. Let me continue to speak. Hey guys, to all the woke Wookiees out there, don't you guys find it interesting that Joe Biden has been in career politics for more than 47 years? And he's sitting here saying that the verdict of Derek Chauvin is a step forward. We cannot allow this to continue any longer. We got to fix this. We need change. When he was on the administration of change with Barack Obama, the first black president of the United States of America, not just for one term, but for two. This man has had decades to change this country, and nothing is changing. This is why I told you earlier in the stream, wake up. Now all of a sudden, Joe Biden's going to pander to us, minority communities. Changes are coming. Changes are coming. Bro, you've been in politics for more than 47 years and you ain't changed nothing, son. Nothing. If anything, you were involved with racist politics. You were involved with busing. You were involved with racism back in the day. How many times do we have to tell you these people don't care? How the hell could you sit there as a person of color and think that Joe Biden is your guy? To fight against anything? To fight for these communities? What are you thinking? Are you serious? This is the same guy that sat there and told you in front of the world that if you can't intellectually choose for yourself between Trump or him, you are not black. Wake up. Wake up. Joe Biden is a fraud. These people have had decades to change our lives for the better. Joe Biden has been in politics for more than 47 years, and now he's telling you, this is a step for change. What the hell? You were the vice president for 8 years, son, with the first black president of the USA, and you ain't do nothing. Change? America's not got any better. Blacks are still living in poverty. Hispanics are as well in different locations in the United States of America. Change? Where are you at? Whoever thought that things would get better, you need to wake up. You have been lied to, and you will continue to be lied to. And I don't feel sorry for you. Because when I say these things, you don't listen. And I'm talking to the left right now. I've been saying this stuff for a very long time. And people don't listen. You're just a right-winger. You're a race traitor. People tweet me things on Twitter. I literally get called. I was called this the other day. I was called a Mexican Hispanic white supremacist Russian asset. That's what I get called because I say the things that I say. And so that's why I don't feel sorry for people. I'm preaching from the rooftops. I'm trying to wake people up, but people you're just a white supremacist. You're a Russian asset. No, you're just a race traitor. You've betrayed us. You damn coconut. I get called the most racist things from my own people, from other Hispanics, from black people. We're going to find you. You hate blacks. I'm like, no, bro, I love black people. I love black people, bro. I'm trying to wake them up because it breaks my heart to keep seeing this happen over and over and over and over again. And I refuse to allow this to happen to my community with Hispanics and Latinos. It's coming, man. Not if I have anything to say about it. We cannot allow these people to do this. We cannot allow these people to decimate our communities. We cannot. We cannot any longer. I mean, dude, look at this. I'm going to show you guys. Look at this. Look how Look what Black Lives Matter is saying. This is why I don't feel sorry for them. This is why I don't feel sorry at all. Look at this. Look at this tweet that Black Lives Matter put up. This is a real tweet, a verified tweet on April 20th, 2021, the same day as the Chauvin verdict. Black Lives Matter says, Biden is currently sending more military equipment to our neighborhoods than Trump. You read that right. Our communities are being terrorized at a greater rate than they had been under Trump. Let me read that one more time. Black Lives Matter. Biden is currently sending more military equipment to our neighborhoods than Trump did. You read that right. Our communities are being terrorized at a greater rate than they had been under Trump. Again, I do not feel sorry for these communities. Things were not going to get better under Biden. Things were going to get worse under Biden because we've been telling you that Democrats do not care about blacks. They don't care about minorities. They only care about pandering to them in order to win elections. And then we get pissed off because we see nothing changes. And then a few years later, here we are again, voting for them again. Thinking it's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over, expecting things to change, expecting different results. I don't feel sorry for our communities because until we wake up and we start not only thinking differently, but acting differently and voting differently, we do this to ourselves. We need to wake up. We need to do better. We need to stop allowing these career politicians to manipulate us, to dictate us and label us and speak for us. Joe Biden does not speak for this brown man. I'll tell you that right now. I 100% wholeheartedly reject that. And if you do too, drop a 1 in the comment section below and get your super chats ready. We need your support. DH Alliance. We're going to do super chats right now. If you guys agree with this mission, if you agree with this message, we need your help. I'm going to be honest with you guys. The monthly support is awesome, but we also thank you guys for the super chats and the one-time donations on our website, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. The link is in the description below. If you guys write a comment, you guys can write a comment on that app and I'll read it here on air, or drop a super chat below. This is how you can support me and what I am doing. I appreciate it. We're going to get into some super chats. If you guys don't have time to stick around and hang out, if you can do me a huge favor, please subscribe to the channel. YouTube wants you to be lazy, man. I'm being honest with you. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, toggle on the all selection, and share this video, and smash that like button if you got to jam out. So let's do some super chats. I'm pretty sure that you guys have a lot to say, especially the DH Alliance. You guys always have a lot of great things to say. You guys teach me a lot as well, and I appreciate it very much. But let me pull this up real quick so we can do some super chats. Thank you guys. We have a bunch of super chats coming in. I thank you guys for the support. More than you know, man. More than you guys know. This isn't easy doing this independently. This isn't easy, especially for this show, especially when we get deboosted and all that garbage. I mean, does it make sense to you why I have more than 52,000 subscribers and could barely get 2,000 views on a video? It's because of the things that I'm saying. This isn't supposed to go out. All right, we have some super chats. We have a super chat from Dylan Senas. From Dylan Senas. We salute you. Actually, I think I missed this yesterday from Tanya Ledesma. I missed this, so I'm gonna honor this. Tanya, thank you. We salute you. Tanya said yesterday, the BLM, Black Lives Matter, would still be mad if the officer had not shot the 16-year-old and let the girl in pink get stabbed. That's what we talked about yesterday. And yeah, nothing will ever be enough for Black Lives Matter because it's not about black lives. It's about destabilizing the United States of America, and you do that by attacking law and order. So if there's a shooting, if there's a death of a black person that's not at the hands of a police officer, they're not going to make a fuss about it. Because it won't attack law and order. We have another super chat from Truth with Ease. We salute you. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Truth with E says, that is a fact. I grew up this way. Reps were from the rich, white people, and Dems were for the poor people. I am glad I woke the F up. Yeah, I said that earlier. It's true. Especially when you grow up in a home of color. If you're black, Hispanic, brown, if you're a minority, you're told this. And I blame it on parents. We need to wake up. We cannot raise our kids to believe these lies any longer. This is how they enslave us. When you grow up believing this stuff and then you have your own babies, you have your own kids, you eventually you eventually start to raise your kids with the same lies that these damn Democrats have poisoned your mind with. And the generations never change. It's a generational strategy. This is by design. So they have generational voters coming in all the time. Oh, these dumb Hispanics, these dumb blacks. They teach their stupid kids to believe that we actually care. That's how they think of you. It's offensive, isn't it? So we should stop allowing them to do this to us. We're not stupid. We're not. We're very intellectual, very smart, very entrepreneurial people. We can live on our own. We can think for ourselves. We have to stop thinking this way and stop raising our kids this way as well. We have another super chat from Dylan Senas. Dylan, thank you for the second super chat. We salute you. Dylan says, if you don't believe in aliens, you haven't seen the southern border. I've been there many times. Yes, there is a lot of illegal activity taking place at the southern border. And that's another Democrat issue. They are pandering to Latinos because they're the next big non-white voting bloc. Why do you think they're importing millions of people from Central American countries? They are the next big voting bloc. This is all by design. If anyone sits here and thinks that the border crisis is just happening because it's happening by coincidence, no, it's by design. Fact. After the 2020 election, the Latino Hispanic community has now become the largest non-white voting bloc in the United States of America. It's not blacks. Makes sense? Why do you think Joe Biden gave citizenship to more than 11 million undocumented people in the United States, Hispanics, Latinos? For what? Votes, son. Why do you think they're importing millions of people, hundreds of thousands of people from Central America? Vote, son. It's all by design. And in the process, they don't care if little girls get raped. Women are getting raped 80%. 80% of women are getting raped multiple times on their journey from Central America to the United States. And Joe Biden doesn't give a damn. Democrats don't give a damn. Little kids are being kidnapped. They don't care. It's all for votes and political gain. We have another super chat from Dak Janiels, $35 super chat. Dak Janiels, we salute you. Says, hi, Drew. What do you think the results of so many illegal immigrants entering the country freely, Antifa and BLM riots constantly taking place all over the country, and the propaganda coming from the media will be? Much love. This is all together. Open borders, chaos, instability in the streets, attack law and order, gut law enforcement, get rid of the good guys, install the bad guys, get those that are willing to do the will of the state, which is lawlessness. We have been opening up our arms. The United States, the Democrat Party, because they're in power, full power, they control the House, the Senate, executive branch. They got it all. Legislative, judicial, executive branch, they got it all, man. They're controlling, the deep state is controlling this because they want control. They've been demoralizing this country for decades. Why do they demoralize us? So when they finally bring in policy that's out in the open, when lawlessness is out in the open, you will be so desensitized not only to not be able to see it, but to say anything about it. The list goes, why do you think there's so much evil policy that has been passed out in the open in this country these past few decades? Because we've been demoralized through mainstream media, through Hollywood, through music, all these channels of art to accept these things when they become law. This is a communist agenda. This is how subversion takes place on a grand scale. They've demoralized this country to where millions of people are now going to accept lawless legislation and law in the United States of America. So no one says a thing about it. Nobody will say anything about it. On a grand scale, millions. So now they're moving forward to destabilize the country through open borders, riots, chaos. We're moving into crisis. And the reason why they want a crisis is so they have an excuse to execute massive government overreach over the people. They need to destabilize the country. They need crisis in the United States of America, and it's coming. These open borders is just importing future voters. It's coming very, very, very soon. They need crisis. They need destabilization, so they have an excuse to execute authoritarian full government overreach. That's why AOC comes out in the open and says things like that. That's why they all advocate for that. Biden wants to take away your guns. Pelosi doesn't care. They want to stack, right? They want to stack the Supreme Court. Why? They want full government overreach. And the way that they do that is through strategic crisis. Strategic crisis. The reason why Biden won't call it a crisis, I mean, he's barely come out and said that. The reason why they won't say it is because they don't want people to clearly understand that this is all strategically planned. I'm not going to tell you what you're going to do. You guys know that. They're not going to tell you what they're going to do. But that's where I think this country is heading. Clearly. All right, we have another super chat from Rachel. Rachel, thank you for the $5 super chat. Rachel says, picking up Dax SC, how do you think illegals will vote in the future, given that Latinos tend to be very conservative capitalists, but Dems let them in? Here's the problem with Central America, okay? Let's speak in the context of these hundreds of thousands of people that are being imported from foreign countries. What you have to understand is a lot of these people are fleeing socialism. They're fleeing authoritarian regimes. So a lot of these people's mindset coming from Latin American countries, they're already under the assumption that the federal government owes them everything. Okay? Because the federal government has made these promises, these people are already under the assumption. It sounds stupid, right? You're fleeing socialism to come back to another form of socialism. Yeah, they would rather come to the U.S. because they believe that they have more freedom here. These people are very arrogant. A lot of these immigrants, I'm going to tell you right now, especially that whole Catholic charity, some of the people that work in that Catholic charity, where you guys saw me exposing that person stuffing kids into the back of a hatchback, we actually got some stories from people working inside of the charity. And you know what they told us? That some of these Central American mothers are extremely arrogant and they're very disrespectful to the workers. Why? That they piss and they crap all over the floor, and they ask them to clean up for them over themselves and their kids, and they say, no, you do it for me. You do it. Do you know why they're like that? They're like that because they have this self-entitled mentality, because Biden and Democrats and these socialists have come out and said, we will take care of you. We will give you everything. We will support you. So now they're coming with this pompous mentality where they believe that they should be taken care of like royalty in this country. It's a fact, bro. That's not to demonize the migrants, but they have this mentality. It's like a millennial right now, right? A left-leaning millennial that's just so self-entitled. You should give me everything. That's why they're so socialism and communism is so appealing, because they don't got to work for anything. The state will provide everything. So I think what we're going to see is if we don't reach out, if Hispanic activists, conservative, patriotic, if these organizations don't outreach to these communities and reveal these things to them, we're going to lose. They're going to keep voting for this because in their minds, if we vote for the party that opened the doors for us, they're going to continue to take care of us. That is literally how basic they think. And if we, as especially the Hispanic community, activists, organizations that outreach, we have to educate these communities and reveal to them that you don't have to vote for them. I mean, they're already here. What are we going to do now? Joe Biden's not going to get rid of them. We have to educate them and wake them up to the reality that they are being used too. and try and flip that and utilize it for us for future elections. That's what I think. All right, we have another super chat from another one from Dak Daniels. Thank you, Dak Daniels, for the $10 super chat. Dak Daniels says, I told a relative about the video exposing the CNN technical director. Yeah, that was pretty hilarious. Admitting to propaganda. And she said to me, CNN isn't always pushing lies. Like how? She defended them like a loyal minion. That's what I'm saying, man. It's because people's pride gets violated. Their reality, right? When you punch a hole in it with truth, they don't want to, people's pride will stop them from coming to the truth. And it's very sad when you see people like this. Anytime you tell the truth to someone, especially when they feel like, oh yeah, I have this figured out. I've done so well. And this is so amazing. This is my reality. And you're like, but you got this wrong. People get offended. And the Bible makes it very clear that the righteous should love instruction, should love correction, that the fool actually despises being corrected. That's a universal fact and a truth. Why? Because you're an idiot if you deny reality. Everybody knows this. That's like saying, I am clearly a citizen of Mars. It's like, bro, you're living on Earth. But I am a citizen of Mars. No. You're on Earth. The hell are you saying? I am a citizen of Mars. Like, it's like, okay, this person is clearly mentally ill or just an idiot because they're denying reality. But people will defend their false reality because of their ego and their pride. And a lot of people will not admit, even though it's staring them right in the face, CNN comes out and admits that they have propagandist philosophy. People still. It's like Yuri Bezmenov, right? The guy that exposed subversion, communist subversion. He came out and said, man, when someone is fully subverted, when someone has been fully demoralized, you could shower them with facts and truth, and they've been so demoralized, they cannot even see it, even though it's staring them right in the face. That's why that's happening. That was true. We have another super chat from Ronnie Vera. Ronnie Vera, we salute you. Ronnie says, thank you for the $35 super chat. Ronnie says, greetings from Chicago. I went from a normal Latino center right to full mega. Thanks to the white leftists' agenda. I agree. That's something Tim Pool, and by the way, I'm going to be on Timcast IRL next Thursday, so make sure to be there for that, because I'm going to be talking about all this stuff. I'm just not going to hold back, okay? I have so much to say on that show. So next Thursday, I'll be on Timcast IRL, so make sure to watch that. But this is one thing Tim has always said, and I agreed with it, is authoritarianism is always going to push people further and further and further and further towards more conservative, patriotic, nationalist views. Because left-leaning authoritarianism, it just pushes people. It pushes people like, I don't want to be controlled. Even if it's right-wing authoritarianism, it's just going to keep pushing people either closer and closer to the center. Because the center is kind of where we want to be. Because I don't want to be controlled by some kind of authoritarian right-wing government. I don't want to be controlled by some kind of authoritarian left-wing government. I don't want to be controlled. I just want to be free. And that's what the Constitution was designed to do. It was to stabilize us so we're not being ruled by a mob rule. We're not a full democracy in the United States because mob rule is dangerous. Look at Black Lives Matter. Imagine if we didn't have the Electoral College. We would be dominated every single presidential election cycle by California and New York. If it weren't for that. So what I'm saying is, one thing that Tim has always talked about and I agreed with is authoritarianism just pushes people closer and closer to full autonomy of themselves. And I think that's what we're continuing to see. We have another super chat, a $5 super chat from Diehard. Diehard, thank you for the $5 super chat. There's no message, but we thank you for the support. We have a donation on Venmo from Rebecca Foster, a $100 donation. Everybody say thank you. DH Alliance thanks you. Say thank you to Rebecca Foster and every single super chat on this show and every other show in the past and to come. But Rebecca, we thank you for the donation. Without you guys, we cannot do this stuff. Rebecca Foster says, Democrats create laws and then pretend to fix them. Been happening. Let me open this real quick. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. Democrats create laws and then pretend to fix them. Been happening since I was a kid in the 70s. Voted for Obama twice with hopes things would change. Huge mistake. He made it worse. Never again will I believe a Democrat. Much love to you and your team. $100 donation from Rebecca Foster. That's 100% true, man. These politicians, they lie. They peddle false hope. Remember, what did Obama run on? Hope and change. Hope and change. Hope and change. We got change. But it wasn't for the embetterment of the United States. It was for worse. It made us more depraved, more demoralized. This country is reprobate. That's where we are right now. And that's where we're going to continue to go. Things did not get better. We got change from Obama. We didn't get good change. We got bad change. But that's what these people do. It doesn't matter if it's a black guy running for president. It doesn't matter if it's a white guy. It doesn't matter. These politicians are puppets, and they will tell you what they know you want to hear. False promises. And they'll continue to do so. We have another super chat from Rachel, $5 super chat. Rachel says, Biden might as well be the chancellor and V from Vendetta. I want everyone to remember why they need us. Gasp, movie night idea when the disc is up. I mean, Biden is just the crypt keeper. He's a puppet, man. That's what it blows my mind that people, Biden's the fascist. They said Trump was the fascist. We've seen the media gagged, Border Patrol gagged, attempting to cover up things. These people are taking measures that Trump never took. They accuse their opponents of who they are and what they're about to do. Biden has been committing or signaling more fascism than Trump has ever had. And he's only been in office, 3 months, 2.5 months? They want to take away your guns? There's civil liberties that they're violating? Biden the other day threatened to cancel 4th of July? Come on, man. When are people going to wake up? Democrats are the fascists, man. They are. They're the ones that are putting forth policy that are shutting your freedoms down from COVID on, right? We have another super chat from T-E-A, $5 super chat. Thank you. We salute you. T says, united we stand, divided we fall. Yes. Jesus said a house divided against itself shall not stand. That's a promise. Their agenda is to tear us apart. They don't care about any race. Exactly. Because they want to destabilize us and bring us into a crisis so they can have an excuse with full authoritarian government overreach to control us. That's what they do. It's exactly what they do. Look what they did on January 6th. Oh, but, they stormed the Oklahoma Capitol. Black Lives Matter. And doesn't even make news. Do you even know about that? Where's the FBI on that one? Nowhere to be found, because who controls the FBI? Who do you think? Seriously. But that's true. They want a race war because it further destabilizes the country and it gives them an excuse for further government overreach. Whites need to understand this. Blacks need to understand this. Browns, minorities, everybody. We all need to understand that these politicians, they want an excuse for full-on government overreach to control us even further. So they just want an excuse. Look at the Capitol in D.C. Fortified, man. That's going to continue to happen. We have some more super chats. We have a super chat here from Zach Kahia. Zach says, my skin is Brad Pitt level white. But I'll play my half Hispanic heritage card every time the left wants to make things racial. That being said, Biden, Kamala, Pelosi, and everyone else in our government do not speak for me. I agree. 100%. They do this because they know that they can get away with it, and they know that the narrative will stick. You got CNN, you have news organizations that carry these narratives. When you have literally people in the country that are saying, no, thank you. You don't speak for me, bro. Not at all. We cannot allow these people to continue to do this, because if we do, that is how they control us and that is how they win. Why do we allow this? I, for one, am not any longer. So I encourage people, whether white, whether black, whether brown, I don't care. Do not allow these people to continue to speak for you. That is how they dictate over you. Because if they tell you who you are and what you believe, that is how they continue to control you, because that is how they move forward and start implementing policy based upon that. Sick of it, bro. We have another super chat from Dylan Zenas. Dylan Zenas, we salute you. Dylan says, do you think it's radical to say, I don't know if I could say this on YouTube. I'll just say, I'll go down with my guns in my hands as a free man. I think in the context of what you say, that could be considered maybe terrorist. You know, I mean, if you say something like that and you go and commit an act of terrorism, I would say, yeah, I don't know about that one. But I think freedom comes with a cost. I'll say that right now, man. And I think America is heading down a direction where we have authoritarian psychopaths in office that people have voted for and keep voting for, and that want to continue to take away our freedoms. And the Second Amendment is there for us, whether left, whether right, whether Republican or Democrat. It is there for our protection, especially against an authoritarian psychopathic government, a regime that's out of control. So I'll leave it at that. I am not inciting any violence or encouraging any violence. I'm just saying that the Second Amendment is there, our God-given inalienable right to continue to protect our own autonomy and freedom of our own life and right to live. We have another super chat from Chrissy Richardson. Chrissy, we salute you. Chrissy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Chrissy says, love you, man. Stay strong and true. You are one of the few I am happy and proud to support. Keep it up, man. Thank you very much for the support, man. I just speak from the heart. I speak for myself. And if other people relate to it, then praise God, man, because I just think a lot of people feel the same way. I mean, I'll never sit here and claim to speak for somebody because I don't want anybody to speak for me. But if what I'm saying is relating to people because that's how they feel too, then so be it and praise God. But thank you for the support. We will continue to keep it up as long as we can survive on this platform. We have another super chat from Leti Chavez. Leti Chavez. Thank you for the $10 super chat. We salute you. Letty says, love your passion, Drew, and 100% agree that, some people are like, man, bro, why are you so over the top? Are you trying to be theatrical? Like, this is who I am, man. Like, this is in my heart. This is in my DNA. I just refuse to be bullied. There's just something in me that's like, no. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. Maybe some men, women are built differently, but for me, I find myself in a position where I'm just like, no, bro, I gotta say something. I gotta push back, because if I don't, these people are gonna speak for me, and then they're gonna start to control me through their legislation. We have another super chat from Cold Haterade. Cold Haterade, we salute you. Thank you so much, Cold Haterade, for the support. We salute you for the $5 super chat. Cold Haterade says, these Democrat voters are so numerous. Yep, they are. It makes me feel like Kurt Russell in The Thing, surrounded by people who act normal but really want us dead. The reason why it's like that, here's why. During the Trump years, CNN and the radical left-leaning media and all the activists, they started peddling the lie on a grand scale. It became mainstream. Trump is a fascist, Trump is a Nazi, and Trump is a white supremacist. So what that did over the Trump years was it painted every single one of his supporters the same way. So now, right? Now, if we stand up for ourselves against authoritarianism, or if we defend ourselves when our life is being threatened, we are instantly slandered as an insurrectionist, a terrorist, a fascist, an authoritarianism. So anything we do is going to be painted as that now moving forward. Now, the reason why I say that is because right now in this political climate, this is why I keep telling you guys. They put the propaganda out, they put the labels, they put the titles out, and the mainstream media runs with it. So anytime you fall out of line, that is the story that is dropped about you. Doesn't matter if you're white, bro. Doesn't matter if you're black. Doesn't matter if you're brown. It doesn't matter. That is what they run with. And we have to continue to speak out against this, because if we don't, they're going to continue to label us. Why do you think they wanted that, man? Why do you think after what happened in January 6th at the Capitol, immediately, it's like they were ready. It's like CNN just mobilized with all of these talking heads. All the Trump supporting parents should be put into separated from their kids and put into re-education camps. It's like, oh, I thought you guys were against separating kids from their families at the border, right? Oh, of course not. Why? Because it's all a lie, right? They immediately started saying, Trump supporters, we need to put they were serious. If they had a button to push and it would have happened like that, they would have done it. So now that they've set that narrative about any of us, you don't even have to be a Trump supporter, just a conservative or a Republican. Any little thing that happens now, that is who we are. That is how we will be dealt with. Because they've run with that narrative and they've solidified it. And now it's gospel on a mainstream level. And people justify these authoritarian actions because they believe the lies. We have another super chat from Rachel, a $20 super chat. Rachel, thank you. We salute you. Rachel says, YouTube keeps blocking my super chat. Can't send YouTube links. Oh, well, here's one last one as thanks once again for all you do and for hanging out with us. I'm sorry, man. This is what YouTube does. By the way, sorry. I'll figure out how Venmo works eventually. Yeah, just download the app, put your info in there, and you could start connecting with people. Whether you're on iOS or you're on Android. But I'm sorry, man. Like I said, this is what YouTube does. They don't want me. It's like YouTube, these big tech giants. We want minorities to be successful, but not Drew Hernandez. He has to be deboosted and silenced because he doesn't fit our narrative and our agenda. But we care about Hispanics. No, you don't. You don't give a damn. Thank you, Rachel, for the support. We salute you. We have another super chat from Julie Ann, a $2 super chat. That was a $20 super chat from Rachel. Thank you, Rachel. We salute you. Julie Ann with a $2 super chat says, seems like Black Lives Matter has a lot of bitter lesbian feminists. They do, because that's what they were founded on. This is why I always rail against Christians and pastors that support BLM. Black Lives Matter. This is based upon their own admission. They have declared this. Black Lives Matter is a neo-communist Marxist organization that is a black female, lesbian, trans woman organization. That's who they are. They were founded by black lesbians. This is why I like pastors and Christians. We support Black Lives Matter. We put up the little black square because we support. God is for justice. Like, are you an idiot? Do you even know what they believe? Their tenets are in direct opposition toward the Bible in the context of marriage, the sanctity of life, and the list goes on. But what did the Bible say? That in the last days, many would depart from the faith, taking heed to deceiving spirits and doctrines of demons. Marxism is a doctrine of demons, and BLM has been founded upon that. We have another super chat from Dylan Zenas. Thank you so much for the support tonight, Dylan. I truly appreciate it. We support you. Dylan says, if the Democrats actually come to take my guns, which is your Second Amendment legal right, as we speak still, as the Democrats actually come to take my guns from me when I have done nothing to lose my right to my guns are for defense only. Yeah, exactly. Don't you see how that works hand in hand? This is how they control you. You are weak. You are defenseless. You're too poor and you're too uneducated to even go out and get a freaking ID to vote. So you need us. You don't need a gun. Get rid of the guns. You need us to protect you. That's how they control you. You need the state. We're the ones you're too stupid, you black person. You're too stupid, you brown person, to control a gun. We'll do it for you. What do you think that adds up to? When they take the guns, that's full authoritarian regime, totalitarian regime, they start wiping out the people that disagree with them. How are you going to defend yourself? That's history. There is no perfect world. It's ridiculous. I'm an advocate for people of color exercising their Second Amendment right to protect themselves. Clearly. Why wouldn't you? Oh, but they want to take it away from you because they don't give a damn about you. It's who they are, man. It's who they are. Alrighty, guys. If you guys have any more super chats, I think that's the majority. If you guys want to drop one more, I truly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I truly, truly do appreciate it. I thank you guys for the support. I do. I do. Thank you guys very, very much. We will, give me a second real quick. We will be back on Monday, guys. So we will continue this show on Monday. So if you guys would like, we will continue this show on Monday. We do this show Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification and toggle on the all selection so that you can be notified when I go live. We do this show live Monday through Friday. So if you guys can do me a big favor, subscribe, share this video far and wide. And also, guys, if you can do me a huge favor and smash that like button, let's get to 500 likes. 500 likes, and I would truly, truly do appreciate that, guys. I would appreciate that very much, guys. So thank you, guys. If you guys can share this video far and wide wherever you can, I would truly, truly do appreciate that, guys. So if you guys can do that for me, please do that for me right now immediately and share this. Share this channel, share this video, share this episode wherever you can. And like I said, if you guys, we have some plans. We have some trips planned for the future. We're going to go down to the southern border, Tucson. We're going to go down to Texas again, Yuma. There's some riots coming up. So if you guys would like to donate for those trips, the proceeds go directly to our hotels, our flights, all that expensive stuff. You can donate directly to my website or also drop a super chat on a further show. So I truly, truly do appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys for the continued support. I will see you guys next week. Stay safe this weekend. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. And until next time, America, stay free.